Better Call Saul.
Season 3
premiere. Did you happen to catch the title of this episode?
I did not.
I, as well, did not. But it's the first episode of the newest season. And we get our little black and white Gene and Cinnabon moment, which has, been a tradition for the last 2 seasons.
Right.
This
he got
time,
out
it's
of
a little
that back
longer.
room.
He got out of the back room, but I think I recall him like a janitor coming in there and letting him out.
I did not recall that.
That's what I think happened.
I was kind of blown away by how much of season 2 I did not remember when I was watching this.
See, here's the deal with Better Call Saul versus Breaking Bad. Because you get... okay, so first off, this episode was titled Mabel.
Mabel,
like Mabel.
Yeah, the book that he and Chuck were talking about.
Right. With Breaking Bad, it's like every episode at the end, you're just like, oh, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very different tone. It's very slow, methodical, slow burn kind of series.
Oh yeah,
with Better Call Saul, and he's still, we're in season 3. He's still Jimmy McGill.
Yes, he is.
He is not Saul Goodman yet. He's not. I mean, he's becoming that character, but he's not that character yet.
Right.
And at this point, I'm just like, get on with it. Come on.
I mean, the thing is, in order for him to become Saul, we have to see the end of pretty much every other character from this show. Nacho's got to be gone. Kim's got to be gone. Chuck's got to be gone. HHM is just non-existent in Breaking Bad. So,
but I mean, we don't know that. We don't know that whole firm doesn't exist.
This is true, but they
just don't focus.
Howard's probably going to be gone because he's a fairly important character in this show.
So, like, what would you imagine the fate of these characters? I mean, do they just move on with their lives and just cut ties with Jimmy McGill completely? Does Chuck die at some point, or does he just like basically disown his brother? Or maybe Chuck has him committed to some kind of mental institution. Or Jimmy, I mean.
Right. I feel like, Chuck has to be removed entirely because there's no way that he would let Jimmy be that character of Saul,
right?
If he was still around at all.
I honestly thought there in the second season that they were going to kill him off whenever he slipped fell in the Kinko's type place.
Yeah.
But he didn't. And the ending of the last season, where you find out that Chuck recorded Jimmy's confession, you think that's going to play a huge role in this season, but it looks like it's not going to be as much.
Well, I'm sure that it will
because Howard's like, we can't use this in a court, but Chuck says he has other plans, or I know exactly what to do with it. So, we'll see what happens. Maybe he thinks if he plays it for Kim that she'll leave him or whatever, but she knows already.
Yeah, she
knows. Already knows what happened. So, it's interesting. So we get to see Ernesto again.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, we know that Gus is going to be in this season.
Yes, we do.
That's confirmed. I'm wondering if Ernesto, because we never hear his last name, but Ernesto is a Hispanic name, if he is the son, nephew, whatever, of Gus Fring. Gustavo Fring.
He looks just like him.
They look a lot alike. They do. And they are both Hispanic. And we know that Gus is going to be in this episode or in this season, and maybe Ernesto is the catalyst for Jimmy and Gus crossing paths.
I feel like Mike is going to be the reason that Gus and Saul cross paths.
I disagree with you, and the reason why is because why would Gus give the order to stop Mike from shooting Hector when we already know that Hector and Gus had a falling out at this point?
Have they?
Because it happened in the past, dude. Remember the flashbacks from Breaking Bad?
But we don't know that that's not what's going to happen.
I don't know.
Maybe they're still working together right now, but Mike and whatever happens this season with Jimmy, that's what causes the breakdown between Gus and Hector Salamanca.
I don't know. It's crazy. But let's talk about Mike for a second.
Mike is amazing.
Mike is a smart motherfucker.
Yeah, he is.
Mike finds or methodically dismantles his car and finds this tracking device. And then he goes to Joe DeRosa, the vet, and has him order or find another one just like it. And then he takes it and looks at it, studies it a little bit, and then takes the original tracking device, runs the battery down, replaces it with the new tracking device, and just sits there and waits for whoever it was that planted that in his car to come and get it. And then, obviously he's going to start tracking him so he can find out who put that.
Yeah.
He's going to find out who put the note on his car. Now, that just goes to show how awesome Mike's character is, because if it were me and I found a tracking device in my car, I would have just smashed it immediately. But instead, Mike let them track him. They know where he lives. He let them do it just so he could find out. And he spent some money too. I mean, we know he gave Joe DeRosa $1,000.
Yeah.
Just to find it. Who knows how much this military grade GPS thing cost?
Well, he said about $500.
No, that was his end. That's what Joe DeRosa, he goes, how much is it going to run? He's like, I don't know. I'm not Radio Shack. It's going to be whatever it is plus my end. And he's like, well, let's start with that. And he's like, well, usually it's 500, but since you made me come out here in the middle of the night,
okay,
well, let's make it $1,000.
Right.
So he paid him $1,000, and then on top of that, paid him whatever the cost of the thing is.
Yeah.
So not only is he not afraid to spend money to find out who these people did it, but he's willing to take the time, let them track him in order to find out who it was that did it.
Well, so I would say that it's not that he let them track him. He knew that he was already being tracked, and so he needed to turn the tables.
Yeah, and that's why I love Mike.
Like, they already knew where he lived. They'd probably been watching him for a long time.
Who knows? But now he's going to find out who it is. Maybe it is Gus's people.
I'm betting it's the twins.
You think?
Yeah.
But the twins don't seem like that. I mean, the twins are like assassins. They don't seem like the kind of people who would go in and plant, GPS trackers and stuff. They just seem like the kind of people who would go in and just kill a motherfucker.
But they would do it under orders.
True, but at this point, we know the twins are working for Hector.
Yeah.
So,
well, we know they work for Hector in Breaking Bad.
Right, but didn't Hector have the twins with him in this episode? Or not in this episode, but in
the finale?
The previous seasons?
I don't remember, honestly.
It's and that's the thing about watching it week to week. I mean, we could have binge watched the whole last 2 seasons.
Both seasons are, by the way, on Netflix now, so you can watch both of them.
There's so much stuff out there; it's kind of hard. Overall, how do you feel that Better Call Saul compares to Breaking Bad?
I can't compare them because they are different animals entirely. Right. I love them both, probably equally.
Really?
Though. Yeah.
See, I think Breaking Bad so far is the better series, especially if you consider where we're at in season 3 with Better Call Saul versus where we were at in season 3 with Breaking Bad.
This is true. Yeah.
Because wasn't season 3 whenever the whole plane crash thing started?
I think so. I think
yeah.
Gus was introduced in season 3.
Yeah. And if we're wrong, feel free to correct us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I haven't watched Breaking Bad now in a couple of years.
Better Call Saul doesn't have that keep me on the edge of my seat. Oh shit, what the fuck's gonna happen next week?
There are fewer life or death situations.
Right, and honestly, I've got to say, if Breaking Bad never existed and we still had Better Call Saul, I'm not sure if I would watch it. But I still want to watch it week to week because I love these. I'm so invested in these characters.
Yeah.
Especially with the whole series of Breaking Bad looming over Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
That I almost have to watch it because I was like, Vince Gilligan's not going to let me down and it's going to ramp up.
Yeah.
It's got to.
I mean, once you introduce Gus Fring into this mix, shit's gonna get violent.
Sure,
I mean, Hector Salamanca's already there. The twins are already there. There's already the threat of huge amounts of violence.
I wonder what's going to be the thing that turns Hector Salamanca into a vegetable, and if we're going to get to see that.
I mean, ultimately, probably whatever this problem with Gus is.
Who knows? What did you think of Better Call Saul?
Breaking Call Saul.
First episode, season premiere. Let us know in the comments below.
We'll be doing these week to week, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to move on.